Welcome to POS 2200, Leadership in Public Service. The purpose of this presentation is to welcome you to the course, describe a typical class, list the typical class assignments, get an idea or understanding of where we're going in this class, describe the key course assignments, emphasize the requirement, the need, or the purpose of requiring deep personal self-reflection in the course. List why self-reflection is so challenging, and then we want to introduce 4 course leadership frames. Welcome to Leadership in Public Service. I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey where we'll explore what it means to lead and how you can begin to develop your own leadership skills and potential. Whether you're stepping into this class with lots of leadership experience or just starting to think about what it means to lead, this course is designed to be engaging, thought-provoking, and most importantly, transformative. Together, we'll create an environment where ideas are shared, insights are discovered, and each of you will begin to uncover your unique leadership voice. POS 2200 meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 11:45 a.m. The class starts on January 6th and ends on February 24th. Tuesday's classes will be synchronous virtual classes. Thursday's classes will meet face-to-face. Here's a typical class schedule for each class day. We'll begin each Tuesday class by placing you in a virtual room and asking you to discuss your leadership reflections with a classmate. You will submit your written responses to each leadership reflection the next day. Each leadership reflection consists of 3 parts: responses to questions from the readings in your course text, responses to your findings from leadership assessments, and your thoughts about the leadership speaker for the day. Next, a guest speaker will join us virtually. The speaker will be a public or nonprofit leader and will meet with us for about an hour. We'll then break, and after the break, we'll discuss leadership issues raised by the guest speaker. We then will review what we learned and adjourn for the day. Thursday's classes will focus on a discussion of the guided questions assigned for that class, and that'll be from 10 until 11:15. This will be followed by a break, and we'll then end the day's class with a review of what we learned. Here's a list of the typical assignments for each class. You have 3 readings per class, 2 chapters from our course textbook, and 1 related to a leadership challenge that's common in public and nonprofit organizations. You also have a 10-question reading quiz that will cover the reading assignments. Additionally, you'll submit each Wednesday responses to the leadership reflections assigned for that class. Here's a listing of the major course assignments. Please note that the majority of the grade weight is assigned to 2 areas: the final exam, 25%, and the leadership portfolio, 40%. The leadership portfolio consists of leadership reflections that are due each week, a description of your ideal leadership position, that's due week 2, development of a leadership visioning board, due week 3, personal leadership statement, due week 5, a personal leadership philosophy, due week 7, and a lifelong leadership development plan, due week 7 as well. A reading quizzes covering the assigned class readings are due each Thursday morning. A class participation grade is assigned each class, and you'll be asked to meet with me twice during the course. The last assignment is a final comprehensive exam given the last class session. There's an old adage in sports: no pain, no gain. And so it goes too with self-reflection. Self-reflection is a cornerstone of this course and is a fundamental practice for any aspiring leader. Leadership isn't just about managing others. It begins with understanding yourself. This means taking the time to assess your values, motivations, strengths, and areas for growth. You can't do this just by thinking about it. You have to write about it. You must become self-aware. Self-awareness is the foundation of effective leadership. By reflecting on your ELVs, experience, leadership learning, feedback, and support, you'll gain insights into how you interact with others and make decisions. Reflection helps you connect course readings and discussions to your real-world leadership practices. You will envision through these reflections how you adopt and use these practices. The lifelong leadership development model provides a model for how you should go about developing as a leader. This model is emphasized in the course, and the model demands reflection. Reflection in relationship with coworkers and others is important for developing trust and leading teams. Self-reflection in this context builds positive relationships. Self-reflection is difficult and challenging. You must confront your weaknesses, and this isn't an easy thing to do. Looking in that mirror is tough. Self-reflection is challenging, especially because it takes time. It takes time, energy, and effort. Understanding why you are self-reflecting is also a challenge. Leading in the leadership context or situation are often not clear, so this makes it unclear. And the big one, fear of change. If I find these things out about myself, I'll have to do something about it, like change, and that's hard to do. Here's some strategies for self-reflection. Remind yourself that self-reflection is not about judgment, it's about understanding and growth. Creating a supportive internal dialogue with yourself encourages honesty and reduces the fear of facing those vulnerabilities. Acknowledge that self-reflection isn't about finding flaws. It's about learning and then evolving. Being brave and courageous means accepting that imperfection is part of the human experience. It takes bravery to ask others for feedback about your leadership, your actions, or your decisions. But others' perspectives can provide valuable insights you might overlook. Write down your reflections by putting your thoughts on paper, and this will help clarify your emotions and thoughts. And it also forces you to be honest with yourself about what you're feeling and why you're feeling that. Brave self-reflection doesn't stop at insight, it leads to action, we hope. Identify one thing you can change or improve and take a step towards it, no matter how small. Next, I'd like to introduce 4 models that we will use throughout the course to help you develop your own leadership preferences. The 4 models are the lifelong leadership development model that you've heard me speak about, what's called the PTO model, the full range leadership model, and what we call the RCRN model. The lifelong leadership development model describes the importance of reflection and learning to continually improve one's leadership skills. The model encourages growth through continuous reflection of leadership experiences, learning, seeking out feedback from others, and gaining support from others. It makes clear that leadership development is a lifelong journey that must always be aligned with the leader's purpose and values. The second model is called the PTO model. And the model reflects leadership levels, with each component corresponding to a progressive or increasing scale of influence. This aligns with a developmental view of leadership where individuals expand their impact from self to others to teams and then to organizations. Personal, leading yourself. Interpersonal, leading one other. Team, leading a team. And organization, leading an entire organization. The full range leadership model is a comprehensive framework that categorizes leadership behaviors across the spectrum from passive, laissez-faire on the far left, to transactional in the middle, to transformational on the right. Developed by Bernard Bass, it is widely associated with transformational leadership theory. The model comprises three primary leadership styles: laissez-faire, transactional, and transformational. The next model is the RC-RN model. The model describes four critical areas that novice leaders should consider as they develop their leadership skills and lead others: relationship building, collaboration, access to resources, and networking. Building strong relationships is essential in public and nonprofit organizations where achieving goals often depends on trust, mutual respect, and shared purpose among diverse stakeholders. Collaboration is a cornerstone of success in public and nonprofit sector, where cross-sector partnerships and teamwork are often required to address challenging societal issues. Public and nonprofit organizations frequently operate with limited budgets and resources, making access to and the management of resources critical for achieving organizational goals. And finally, developing a strong professional or social network is vital for public and nonprofit leaders to enhance their influence, their visibility, and their access to opportunities. This presentation was designed to provide you with an overview of the course, provide you with what a typical class will look like, describe typical class assignments for each class, give you an idea of where we're going and how we will get there, describe the course assignments, emphasize the need for deep self-reflection, and then list some strategies for self-reflection that you can use. We also introduced our leadership models that we will frequently refer to in the class. Please know, I look forward to our leadership journey, and I hope that you will help me make this a transformative educational experience for all of us. Thank you.